What's up, everybody? It's your girl AlleyBenz here, and we are back with another video. Today we're going to be talking again about Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is season 10, episode 7, BeTwan Two Worlds. But before we get into that, I want to talk about how if you watch this show, that you know that they're going to be slowing down soon and probably is going to go on like a hiatus at some point. So I'm going to have to be talking about other shows. I'm going to be talking about Bell Collective, which comes out October 3rd. And I'm also going to be talking about Real Housewives of Potomac again. So if you aren't new to my channel, then you know that I've talked about Real Housewives of Potomac before. But I stopped watching it because Monique had left. Like, I would watch it, but I wasn't making reviews on it because I didn't really care about anybody else on the show besides Karen. So it wasn't really that important to me to review the shows. But I'm going to be back because Monique is back. So stay tuned for that and let me know what else you guys would like me to talk about and review. Okay, so let's get into it. We start the show off with Destiny and Lance. They're finally having their sit down after 7 episodes. And Lance was like, this is a much needed conversation, so I want to go ahead and try to lay everything out on the table, right? No, Lance was like, so tell me what you want to talk about. Talk to me. What's going on? And Destiny's looking like, I got to say something. So Lance is like, yeah, you're right. You know, I had a baby and I just want to let you know that I didn't tell nobody that I had a baby. This wasn't something that I was trying to purposely keep from you personally. It was something that I was keeping from everybody because when I was told I had a baby on the way, I didn't believe that the baby was mine. And so I didn't want to tell nobody just in case it wasn't mine. And Destiny's just like, I mean, I can understand that, but at what point was you going to say, hey, there is a possibility that I might have a baby on the way? Like, we talk all the time. And at no point was you like, hey, I got a situation getting a girl pregnant. Like, at what point was you going to say that? Destiny was like, she had found out that the reason why they had left LA was because Lance's baby was on the way. And that's like, they all knew, right? And Lance is just like, no, we didn't leave because I had a baby on the way. I don't even know where you got that from. And Destiny's like, Tisha told me that your mom told her that that's why all of y'all left LA together. And Lance was like, no, I left LA because of that bullshit you was saying at the reunion, that we was just dating and we were falling off and that you didn't really have nothing for me anymore besides a conversation. So that's the reason why I decided to leave. They left for whatever reason that they left. Now for me, I feel like somebody's lying here because Nell definitely told Tisha that they left LA because the baby was on the way. Now Lance is telling Destiny he left because he felt some type of way about what Destiny was saying at the reunion. He was just like, I already got enough on my plate. I allegedly got a baby on the way. Destiny is telling the world that we not exclusive and we're just dating. So I really have no need to stay. Like, then Lance go and talk about stuff. I thought at one point Destiny was somebody that I could be exclusive with and get married to. And I'm just like, what? Talking about she had so many red flags and it made me reconsider. Destiny had red flags? What was Destiny's red flags to Lance? That she was flirting with the bodyguard? But that was allegedly after y'all started like drifting apart. So I don't really see the issue with it. Like, I see the issue with flirting in front of Lance's mother, but at the same time, if y'all wasn't what y'all was at the time, why does it matter? Like, what was the red flag? Because you had a child, or you was knocking girls down unprotected. So isn't that a red flag? Like, are those red flags you seeing, but then you wanted to be Destiny? No, it was you. So Lance is like, he feels like Destiny was playing in his face, basically, because Lance had deep feelings that he never told her about, which is another red flag on Lance, because if you really felt some type of way about this woman, at what point was you going to say that? Like, how you got deep feelings for somebody, but then you having unprotected sex with your old girlfriend? That don't really make sense to me. So me and Destiny are both looking at Lance like, can you elaborate? Because what do you mean I'm playing in your face? And he's like, one, you were telling everybody it wasn't exclusive. And then two, you were over here flirting with my bodyguard that I hired for your event. Don't seem like playing in somebody's face. And so Destiny's like, I wasn't flirting with him like per se. Like, yeah, I might have been giving him the eyes in front of your mom, but that wasn't me trying to act on flirting with him.
Now, what I will say is flirting in front of your, I don't know if they was boyfriend and girlfriend because they said they wasn't exclusive, but flirting in front of your fling's parent is crazy. Because imagine the genders were swapped and it was a man flirting with a woman in front of his woman's father. Wouldn't the father feel disrespected? Like, so you just gonna flirt with somebody in front of my child in front of me and not think I'm gonna say something either to my child or feel some type of way?
So Lance drops the bomb and it's like, well, to be honest, I just want to let you know that that's my god brother. Like, so Destiny, her gas is flabbered. Like, she was just like, wait, that's your god brother? Huntsville is small. Huntsville is small, y'all. It literally has to be like 5 single people in Huntsville because they all are dating each other. Trish, Ken, Destiny, Will, the mistress, the light-skinned girl, who else? Jalen, and Twan, and Lance. All of them are single, so they all like intermingling and messing with each other because I'm just like, so there's nobody else in Huntsville that's single that y'all could be talking to. Like, it has to be people within y'all circle all the time. You didn't think that Lance had some type of connection to the bodyguard. You just thought that that was his employee, which is fair. That's fair. I would have just assumed that he was an employee, but whole time he his god brother. Then Destiny is like, well, Trish told me that he was interested in me. And that right there is confusing me because I'm like, why is Twan talking to Trish about Destiny? At what point was Trish and Destiny cool enough to where Trish could hook Destiny up with somebody? And why wouldn't Twan talk to Lance, his employer / godbrother, and say, hey, this girl is making googly eyes at me at the event? Like, why Twan couldn't say nothing to his godbrother about Destiny? Or at the lesser extent, Nell. Like, if he would have talked to either one of those, Trish wouldn't even be in the equation. So I'm like, so Lance is like, well, what can I say? Because I just had a baby, so I guess I can bless it regardless of the fact. Destiny's like, well, he blessed it, so he can't take it back now. He can't take it back now. But I wouldn't advise you to act on it because it's just going to be a bad look for you going forward. Because that's that man god brother. Which is, like I said, all of that is just crazy to me because if that's your god brother, why are you trying to go after his ex-flame? And why would Destiny be villainized for it if she didn't know? Like, that just right there, I don't know. But what I can say, this conversation was very amicable. This was like one of the most calmest sit-down conversations that we didn't have this season. And that's all I really got to say about it because at the end of the day, they squashed it. It looks like there's no beef. They are going to remain friends. They said they was friends in the first place. So it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. So we get to the scene with the men and Lance is telling Martell about their mutual girlfriend, Destiny, and how they had finally talked and had their sit down or whatever and things are good. He mentions how Destiny is interested in his god brother and Martell is just like, what? Your god brother? Does she know that that's your god brother? And Lance is like, yeah, because we just had this talk, we just had this sit down. It is what it is, so I can't really do anything because I just had a whole child. Like, what can I do or say anything about it? So Martell's like, well, you need to just focus on yourself so you can find you a good woman like my mistress, who I'm probably never gonna marry, right? Then Maurice is like, throughout this process of finding a good woman, you should go ahead and just get you a vasectomy. And I'm just like,
Ho, brother, whoa, now. You got too much dip on your chip.
No.
That just further follows those allegations that y'all got vasectomies to have sex with women and not get them pregnant. Because why would you tell Lance that? And Lance is only like 33. What if he does want to have a child in the future? Like, I know vasectomies can be reversed, but like he was talking about cutting and burning and like how you get your tubes tied. And can we talk about how Chris Fletcher came in there looking like he was going to play golf for real, like, what? So this show is called Love and Marriage, right? There's no reason for Martell, Destiny, Lance, Trish, or Ken to be on this show. Speaking of Ken and Trish, Ken is talking about how he owes Chris Fletcher an apology because when they were talking a couple episodes ago at the little shop or whatever, they was talking about how Trish is not the problem, it's Marquez that's the problem. And I think Ken is finally waking up and realizing, no, if Marquez is removed, Trish is still going to have an issue. Trish is still going to try to make all these problems happen because she don't really want to marry Ken. And Ken is telling the guys this, right? And Marcel is like, so do you think once the divorce is finalized, she's gonna marry you? And Ken's like, well, to be honest, I don't think I want to marry her, or I'm not ready to marry her.
Because there's just still so many issues in our relationship that go unresolved, and there's just a lot of anger and angst and irritability and non-accountability, and it's just frustrating me because I'm so invested in this relationship, and it's giving that she's not, and I'm the one being looked like as the fool. I'm tired of that. This is like going on 3 years now, 4 years now. I don't want to keep going back and forth with stuff that could have been solved 2 years ago. Like, this stuff with Trish is just getting played out and it's tired, and I'm tired of people telling me the same thing and how I'm looking stupid because I'm trying to play both sides and appease her ex-husband and her, but they both blaming me for the issues in their relationship, and I'm just over that. But at the same time, I'm still so invested in this woman. Like, we trying to buy a gym together, we bought a house together. Like, I cannot just up and leave the relationship because I still have some loose ends to tie up. So if I do decide to break up with her and we call it a quits, what's gonna happen to the gym? What's gonna happen to the home we had bought together stupidly because she's still married to this man?
And then all the men is over here telling Ken, like, well, Ken, to be honest, you should just break up with her and find you somebody else, because if you saying all this and y'all been together for this long and there's still so much going on in her relationship, you should probably just put yourself back on the market. And Ken's just like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna work this out or tie these ends up before I try to do that and get with another single mother. So since we're on the topic of women, Martell is like, I just want to ask you, Ken, I heard that you know my mistress. And Ken is just like, no, what did you hear that from? And Martell's like, I heard it through the grapevine that you and Trish know my mistress, so what's tea with that? And Ken's like, no, I've never met her, seen her, looked at her, no, nothing. And Maurice is like, Will, do you know her? And Will's like, no, she was by my son's mom's house. You know, she's trying to make her way around the cast through like the friends of the cast, but not necessarily I know her, like, no. And then they asked Chris Fletcher, and Chris is like, I met her a couple times, but I don't know her. Maurice is like, I don't know her. Everybody's like, I don't know her. We just seen her around and talked to her several times, but that doesn't mean I know her, which is true. You might not know, you don't know someone just because you didn't seen them, talked to them, or met them. You do not know them per se. But let's not act like y'all haven't been around this chick. All of y'all are saying that y'all have been around this chick a few times, one or more times. So y'all know of her at least. Don't sit around and say you don't know her. Then Will is like, let's cut the chatter, pour up a platter. I got a list of women that I need to ask if any of y'all know or y'all done ran through, because this little circle of y'all done ran through everybody up in Huntsville, and I ain't trying to get caught up looking like Ken. Mind you, Will got his shirt on inside out. Just wanted to put that out there. Oh, there's that. And Martell brings up the field day from last season, and it's like, this is what I don't like about how y'all be speaking on my girl, that I don't want to call my girl when it's convenient for me. Y'all want to say all this stuff that you know somebody or you know of somebody, and then when somebody's like, oh, so you know all this stuff, then let me talk about the stuff that I know. And that's why I wanted to bring up 20-year-old T, that Tisha had slept with my homeboy back in the day. And we all remember
that you got a lot to say in all your interviews. I don't have a lot to say. Marcel knows about Martell, about his girl, about who his girl's messing with. My girl. You know she right. And I told him person.
When Tisha was like, that was in college, like, and that junk is so old and dusted and tired. Like, that T older than my kids. Like, you ain't saying nothing about nothing, so why is you even bringing that up? And Marcel says that. Martell going back and forth with him, because you can't say something about me and not expect me to say something about you. Like, you keep saying you know all this stuff, but then when I ask you about it, you be like, well, I could be mistaken. And Marcel's like, I could be mistaken, but I could also not be. So, and then Will cracks a joke that's like, well, actually, I want to come clean. I do know Ariana. I used to train her back in the day. And everybody's like, what kind of training? Was it that bed training that Trish and Martell was doing? Or was it like actually training? Do you actually have equipment to train somebody? Will is just like, nah, I'm just playing. I just like to be funny and goofy, because that was funny and goofy and everybody know that you slept with my boy girl. Maurice is going to say, see how insinuations go? They not that comfortable, are they? Marcel's like, that's everything, right? I ain't gonna come out here and be surprised, huh? And Martell looking like, yeah, because I don't want no lying ass girl by my side. First of all, bald-headed bitch, you're a lying ass girl.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
You are a bald-headed lying ass girl. So let's get that first and foremost. Second, bitch, you sound stupid as fuck because you and Trish was lying. So is Trish a lying ass girl? Like, y'all, first of all, if I was Trish, I wouldn't like none of y'all motherfuckers, especially Will. Like, Will, you been saying all this slick shit about Trish, and I'm just looking like, what the fuck really tea? Like, y'all really don't like each other at the fuck all. Maurice is like, y'all, we finna squash this shit 2 motherfucking day because I'm tired of y'all going back and forth, and I still want Martell in this show because that's my friend. And he gonna be y'all friend too because he ain't got no other job than this. He gonna be trying to get Marsau job working at the movie theater if we don't squash this because ain't nobody gonna want to film with him. So y'all need to make up and kiss, and I just want everybody to get along like we used to.
Just wish we could all get along like we used to in middle school. I wish that I could bake a cake made out of rainbows and smiles and we'd all eat it and be happy.
So Maurice is like, since this just might turn into a yelling match, let's take this outside because we don't want to be looking like a big old group of black men inside these people establishment yelling and going back and forth about women and whose woman slept with who and who said whoever was cheating. Like, we don't want everybody in our business. Just the people that's watching the show. The people in town don't need to know what's going on until they watch the show, and I doubt anybody from Huntsville really watched this show because allegedly none of them watched the show before, right? Messy ass Marsau gonna be like, I'm hungry. I want some coleslaw in the back of a Buick. I want a big old thing of coleslaw in the back of a Buick. Remember when Marsau came in and was like, I ain't coming in to start no drama. I'm just coming in to start drama. So when he starts, I'm gonna make sure I keep pouring gas on the fire to make it bigger because I'm messy and I like drama. But then when the drama comes back on me, I wanna have a problem and I wanna fight and I wanna be like, I don't fool with you no more because you talking shit about me. Will is looking like the tension in here is so thick, we outside and I can still cut it with a knife. What is going on with y'all two? Maurice is like, exactly, that's what I'm trying to figure out because I don't understand what's going on. I feel like it all started with the demise of Skull. Martell's like, how you even gonna say it's the demise of Skull and you don't even know what's tea with that? Maurice is like, well then how he get bought out? Why he got bought out? And Martell's like, because that was what we had planned on from the beginning because Marsau lost his job at the movie theater when he was working at the movies asking, do you want butter on your popcorn? And
Hey, you got enough popcorn tubs, lids, looks like all you need now is cups.
then you have Marsau talking about, wrong.
Wrong answer, forehead.
Actually, I was working at a movie theater, but I also had a 60-unit complex. I had a 12-unit complex. I had a 10-unit complex, a 4-unit complex, and I owned 10 homes. And I worked at the movie theater. Because you still need something to fall back on, right? You own all this property, you still need to work at a movie theater, right? Because that makes sense. Even Chris Fletcher, why would you own all these properties but still work at a movie theater? Like, that don't make sense. Like, if you owned the movie theater, oh, okay, yeah. He owned all these properties and he owned the movie theater, so that's why he worked there. But no, nigga was a manager. He had a boss. But you are a boss? No shade, but like, if I owned a 60-unit complex, I'm not working at no movie theater. Let alone owning a 10-unit, a 4, a 6, and 10 homes. I'm not working at no movie theater, like, regardless of the position, unless I owned the movie theater that I also worked at. Maurice is like, so to me, it sounds like Martell saw that you was going through some shit, wanted to do you a favor, and was like, you got wife and kids, and you going to work at the movie theater every day? Let's go into business together. Marsau was trying to spin it like, no, we decided to go into business together because I owned all this property, and I was also working at the movie theater. It just doesn't add up. It doesn't matter how whoever spin it. The minute you put in that movie theater shit, none of it makes sense because why would you work at the movie theater? Why would you work there but be owning all this real estate and then take help from Martell, who you say y'all was cool but y'all wasn't cool? Like, that just don't make sense to me. Marsau's like, Martell keep trying to rewrite history because at the end of the day, he always thought he was better than me because he was an entrepreneur and I had to work at the movie theater. In reality, he got caught cheating and got pissed off because we were talking about it. And so now he wants to throw shots and daggers and try to fuck up everybody else's relationship because he lost his wife for his own stupid dumbass actions. Marcel's trying to say he ain't never say nothing about Martell, and Martell cannot prove that he done never said nothing. But then he says that, yes, I did say something. I made 2 jokes on their anniversary and was laughing about them on their anniversary that Martell was cheating on Melody. So, yeah, I said some shit, but he's still mad at old shit from season 1. True, he is still mad at old shit from season 1. But let's not act like y'all wasn't making jokes all season 1 once the shit was established that they said that there was infidelity. And so y'all was like, okay, because they said it, we can talk shit about it. You have to at least wait for them to be like, yeah, y'all can make jokes about the shit. Y'all didn't even wait for the okay. Y'all didn't even wait for the go ahead. Y'all just went ahead and did it. Let's not act like brought it up again season 2 when it was Wanda versus Kimmy, and Kimmy trying to be cool with Mel after the first season, and they was like, we don't really like Mel because Mel and Martell think that they better than us. In all actuality, from what it looked like, they was doing better than y'all. Like, because from what they told us, Kimmy was a nurse, and Kimmy being a nurse was probably the most successful out of all the Scotts, because Marsau was working at the movie theater, Tisha was a stay-at-home mom, and Maurice met Kimmy because he was a barber. And then Kimmy put Maurice through law school. So, yeah, they was doing better than y'all. For them to feel like they was above y'all was fucked up. But that's how elitist black people are. So, what did you expect? Look how y'all looking at them now because y'all married and they not. Like, y'all looking down on them. Y'all think y'all better than them because y'all stayed together through whatever and they didn't. So, both of y'all had times where y'all looking down on each other. Like, all of y'all think that y'all are better than the other at some point or the other. Let's not do that. And Marcel's like, then because I had apologized to Martell, I said I fucked up and I shouldn't have been talking about y'all stuff. And so I don't want y'all to do that to me. So I'm going to just go ahead and apologize right now. So y'all won't ever put that out there about us. But Martell still went and did it. This man going to say Martell was on national blogs, on Good Morning America, on CBS News Tonight, telling everybody that Tisha and Marsau had infidelity in their relationship also. They was on their social medias, and they was doing it with certain bloggers who would talk about them in the beginning, but it's not like y'all wasn't doing that too. Remember when Nell and Martell was going through a custody battle, and Tisha and Marsau had got on live and was like,
I mean, I may never see a fight happen in custody. Your Honor, I am on crack. I am on crack. It doesn't know what happened to these kids.
I would not be that female.
I'm sorry, Your
If
Honor.
you want full custody, baby, you can have them. Let me live my life. I
I
do
tell you
not
right
take
now.
their kids.
Best
I'm
I've ever
all
seen.
married.
Best I've ever seen.
No, we'll be fighting over who's the best parent. Him. They need to go with him.
I put all my old clips.
everybody from both couples were talking about each other's infidelities. As soon as Jay said something about the Holt infidelity, Holt said something about the Scott infidelity. Like, it was a tit for tat. Let's not act like neither party wasn't saying stuff about the other. Like, every season, both of y'all is trying to say, well, you cheated, well, y'all cheated, well, y'all cheated, well, y'all cheated. So let's just stop. And Marcel's like,
Martell doing all this stuff, like that stuff with the light-skinned girl and your mistress, like, did that really satisfy you? And Martell's like, yes, the fuck it did. I feel damn good about myself for doing that because I ain't shit. Duh. Martell was just like, I expected more from my boy. And Marcel's like, bitch, I ain't your motherfucking boy. So don't never say that. We is not friends, we is not cool, we is not nothing, ho.
Ken, Lance, Will, and Chris, all of them is just looking uncomfortable. They looking like, this is weird.
It's getting weird.
Y'all clearly got way more going on than what y'all say. Everybody's saying that the other person is lying. Neither one of y'all is afraid to go below the belt when it comes to this stuff. And at the end of the day, if Martell gonna say this, he need to put out some legit proof. Because just talking to these people, it's not no proof. It's just being messy. Like, actually show these people doing these things. Otherwise, keep it on the playground, ho, because ain't nobody got time for this foolishness. I'm with Marsau. It ain't getting you nowhere. It's just making you look crazy because you bringing out all these scallywags and nobody's truly believing that they done did something with these people. So unless you come with concrete evidence, putting that vagina all on the table, then we can have a conversation. But until then, you ain't got nothing, bruh. Will is like, at some point, y'all gonna have to come to a resolution if y'all still gonna be on this same show together. Like, that don't make sense. Can you respect him if he respect you? Can you respect him if he respect you? And both of them is like, I don't respect him. Martell said Marsau already said he don't respect him, so he don't really know what to do. And Marsau is like, if you keep my name out your mouth, I'm gonna keep your name out my mouth. And that's just what it is. We'll see where that goes on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. So we get to the boy mom and her two sons, right? Immediately they start talking about Destiny and how Destiny's interested in Twan, and how Twan allegedly told Trish that he was interested in Destiny. And Nell is just like, you told Trish you was interested in Destiny? And Now looking at it, it's giving that Twan probably mentioned it to Ken or Will, because they all look like they legit be in the gym working out. So I'm pretty sure they all know each other because they all be in the gym. But it's now I'm like, okay, you telling Trish don't make sense, but you telling Ken or Will does. Nell is just like, why is Destiny trying to go for Twan when Twan was hired to be her bodyguard? Then she was like, honestly, that don't even matter. Did you hit it or not? And Twan like, I ain't hit that yet, so I have nothing to really say. She's attractive. Look at her. Like, Destiny is a beautiful woman. She dresses very well. She's really gorgeous. She just got a lot going on. And that's no shade, but it is shade because I don't care. So all of them are like, I mean, it is kind of weird considering the timing of it all. Like, it does kind of feel like a get back at Lance for having a baby on Destiny. But at the same time, if Destiny truly didn't know that Twan was Lance's homeboy, let alone god brother, we can't really place too much blame on Destiny. At the same time, if Twan was truly interested in Destiny, why he ain't say nothing to Lance? Like, all of this could have been squashed amongst them and it just wouldn't even have gotten that far. Nell is just like, I don't know how I'm feeling about Destiny right now, because she played in your face. She telling me she need to evaluate our friendship over Sonny and Moses, who she had been over. She was so pressed over Sonny and Moses when she was dating Lance, and now she wants to get mad at me because Lance had a baby on somebody. From a viewer perspective, you was so focused on Moses that honestly, everybody was forgetting that you was dating Lance until you would bring it up. Then you over here making the googly eyes at the bodyguard that Lance hired for your event in front of his mom. That's gonna make any mother, especially a boy mom like Nell, feel some type of way. Like, we have to be honest here. Then Nell is like, well, I don't care because Destiny disrespected me, and now I got to reevaluate our friendship because I know she fucked you. I know she's trying to fuck my godson, whether she did or not, and I feel some type of way about her because I don't like the way this is going. Lance is just like, Mama, you need to chill. Like, whether me and Destiny slept together or not, that's really none of your business. Like, we're grown adults. I have 3 children. Like, who I sleep with has nothing to do with my mother. Like, you need to take a step back. If me and Twan can handle the stuff, we can handle the Destiny stuff. Me and Destiny can handle our stuff. You don't need to be involved in our relationship. When it comes to that friendship, yes. But at the end of the day, that's really the issue. What happens when you dating your friend's children? Like, the friend is going to be involved, the child is going to be involved, and the parent's going to be involved. And so it's just like, this becomes a big pot of gumbo at one point where it's just too much going on that you can't separate anything from anything. And those are boundaries that you have to establish day one. Like, don't date my kids, please. So we're 7 episodes in, and we finally get to sit down with Nell and Destiny. Destiny is like, Nell, I have a problem with you because you invited Sonny to your bachelorette party and I feel some type of way. And so I told you that I had to reevaluate our friendship. I never expected you to also decide to reevaluate our friendship because of how I treated your son. And Nell is just like, Destiny, when you told me you wanted to reevaluate the friendship, you had to stop talking to me. And so I'm like, I was confused at the reunion that she stopped talking to me. So are we supposed to be cool or not? Like, she said she was reevaluating it. And because I haven't heard from her up till the reunion, I'm just gonna assume that she really reevaluating and she might not want to be my friend no more. And Destiny's like, well, I never treated you any differently. Like, what are you talking about? I still was calling and texting you. Somebody lying. Because at the reunion, it did give y'all wasn't talking once the season had wrapped. And it's also giving that y'all definitely didn't talk after the reunion. So what type of relationship did y'all really have where you couldn't have reached out to her or she couldn't have reached out to you off camera that y'all couldn't talk and squash this mess? Like, all of this is giving y'all don't have no real friendship, because a real friend, somebody who considers Nell a mentor, will be like, hey, I feel slighted and I want to talk this out. Didn't do that. Nell, you a mentor. You never texted, called Destiny and said, hey, I feel slighted and I want to talk this out off camera. Destiny is like, well, honestly, y'all disappeared after LA, and allegedly you told Tisha that y'all left to LA because Lance's baby was on the way. Nell is like, Tisha need to keep my name out her motherfucking mouth because I ain't never said no shit like that. Lies. You did say that shit.
LA, you hang out with us at all. I did shit, you sure did. I just really have a chance. You know, normally we don't leave early, we hang out with everyone. Lance said Mission wanted to hang out with Ken, but he had got a call saying he needed to get back. He had baby on the way in labor. I saw that on social media. We all did. It was like, what the? Oh, that's when you found out?
said that. I don't know what type of you and Chris haven't been taking, but y'all need to get back on it because y'all memories are slipping. Then Nell is like, honestly, Destiny, I'm the one who really need to reevaluate the friendship because you over here pressed that your ex-boyfriend's new wife is coming to my bachelorette party, but you are dating my son and making googly eyes at another man in front of me. Like, I'm the one who should feel some type of way, not you. Destiny's like, I really don't know why you feel some type of way because while I was making googly eyes, your son was making babies. And Nell's like, but you didn't know that at the time and you was still doing what you was doing. And Destiny's like, yeah, but are we supposed to update the world on our dating status? I mean, if this is your group of close girlfriends, then yeah. You would say, yeah, me and my current flame, he moving different, he's moving weird, he's going through things, you know how black men do. Why wouldn't you say that to them? That way, in your defense, it could be like, y'all, he moving different. So I feel like that's the go-ahead to at least look and see what my options are. Nell is looking like, man, fuck all that. You giving out this big D energy to everybody. Jalen, Twan, Lance, Moses, Martell, like everybody. Like, you get a D, you get a D. Destiny like, hold on now, I ain't no loosey-goosey. Y'all ain't finna be putting all this miles on my coochie. Nell's like, okay, regardless, you gonna date somebody else, but how you gonna date my godson? And Destiny's like, I didn't know that was your godson. We so close that you didn't even tell me you had godchildren. How was I supposed to know? Lance ain't tell me. Nobody told me. How am I supposed to know? All I heard was that he was interested, and he fine. If he asked me out, I was gonna say yeah. It wasn't until Lance said that was my god brother that I was like, oh, okay, let me take a step back. But he did give me his blessing. So at the end of the day, you can't be mad at what me and your son have established. You can't be mad at what my ex-flame done established with me about his god brother, regardless of if that's your son or not. Destiny's like, I just can't get rid of you. You're gonna be my mama one way or the other, which is weird to say about your friend, but whatever. When people don't have a parental figure in their life, they do gravitate to other people that act on that. Look at Jalen and Marsau. Like, Jalen had a whole stepdaddy in the house and he wasn't being a real father, and so Jalen gravitated to Marsau. Like, that's just what it is. And Destiny felt slighted because when at the reunion Nell said that she didn't know her, it just reminded her that every time somebody have a problem with me, the first thing they do is denounce our friendship and be like, I don't know her like that. And Nell, me and you didn't have a real connection because I've been calling you my surrogate mother for like past 10 years. So I felt some type of way. And Nell was just like, I'm sorry that I hurt you. I can really see that I hurt you. And I feel like there's a way for us to patch this up and move forward. And Destiny agrees, and it's just like, there's a Nell that these women just don't know, and I want them to get to meet that Nell, the praying woman, the mentor, the good friend. Like, Nell does have good qualities, so I feel like other people can see that in them if they just give her a chance. They're never going to give her a chance, just like they never really going to give Trish a chance. It just doesn't matter what they do. They never going to give them women a chance. But what really bothers me about this whole thing is the fact that neither one of them called each other and had this conversation. Like, if y'all both was as close as y'all say y'all was, y'all would have been had this conversation by now. Like, it wouldn't have took 7 episodes. It wouldn't have taken the cameras to be cut on for y'all to actually sit down and be like, hey, you supposed to be my surrogate mom, I'm supposed to be your surrogate mother, but we ain't gonna talk for months at a time because we both felt slighted. So that's the end of the episode. We'll see what happens next time on Love and a Few Marriages Huntsville. Let me know what you guys think about the video and the episode in the comments. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Share this video with everybody that you know. And also do the little hype thing so I can get points so other people can watch it. Also, don't forget to let me know what other shows and type video content that you guys would want from me. And I'll see you guys in the next one.